Well, hey y'all. So I left here a little aggravated a while ago, make a run to the beer store before I was going to do my unboxing and look what Joe done found video, and uh, and and you'll see why later on. But remember, y'all, they're just toys. But I just spent like an hour and a half packing up a box of Matchbox cars. Y'all saw some of them in that last video, and I posted them, and I put a buy it now price on it, and somebody bought it within like 5 minutes. I probably messed up. I mean, they're probably worth triple what I sold them for, but I got my money back. Maybe a little bit of money. I paid for the shipping and the packing material, but that wasn't my objective anyway. I didn't need to buy them all. But like I said, I don't know diecast, but I know cool cars, and them were pretty cool. But earlier today, I was down at the pawn shop. Dollar Pawn is the name of it. And the guy that owns it, his name is Dollar. And Mr. Dollar had told me about this fella, his friend, Jeremy Garner. So y'all say some prayers for Jeremy, because he's a young man, married, and they just had their first child. And he's got some sort of cancer. And they're doing a benefit raffle, which I only had enough cash to buy one ticket. They're raffling off guns and stuff, and he was telling me, and I was like, I don't really care. I got a pile of guns anyway, and I bought a lot from him and sold some through him. And I've been on YouTube for a long time. Back 17 years ago was my first channel. There's still a couple of videos out there of me working on some motorcycles, but I did a lot on gun plumbing, putting guns together, restoring them, especially old military guns. So, I was aggravated. I didn't have more money in my pocket, and I'll probably go back tomorrow. And I think I'm just going to take a gun down there and have them sell it and, give them the money. So they already got plenty on there. It says like 6 guns and a whole bunch of, but I got a few nice ones. I got a couple doubles and triples and 6 or 7 of the same type of firearms. So I own far more than, you can ever operate at one time. And the safes are full. So I'll go ahead and get rid of a gun. And y'all say prayers for Mr. Jeremy Garner and his family. And let's hope that goes well. I'm gonna do that raffle at the Thompson auction on Saturday, April 18th. I'll try to go. But so like I said, I was all aggravated, and I went to the beer store and got me some beers. And yep, I saw your message, Mr. Bob. I'll email you my address later on, so you can send me one of them beer koozies so my beer can look all pretty and stuff. But I was all aggravated. And so when I went to the beer store, got my beer, and I was in line behind a lady. She's checking out, and she had like a teenage daughter with her. And I was thinking, damn, she looks familiar. And then I just had the beer and some packing tape to finish off my shipping, and then another item sold. So that's some more work I got to do tonight. But so she was parked right beside me, and as I walked by, I said, "Excuse me, ma'am, are you in the Army?" And she said, "No, I used to be." And I said, "Oh, okay. I thought I saw you the other day in uniform as a staff sergeant." She said, "No, I haven't been in the service in a while." So I've been retired for well over 20 years, but I did work for those guys as a civilian in various different capacities. And she said, "Did you work at Fort Gordon?" I said, "I did, and I work in Signal." And she said, "Oh, okay. Well, I was in the building right next door at 513th." And I said, "Okay, so that was probably it. But thank you for your service, And I don't know if I ever seen her before, but she looked very familiar to me. And I don't know. But I can tell when people are soldiers sometimes when they're not wearing their gear. A lot of vets wear their vet hats and stuff, and that's all fine and dandy. But some of us don't wear all that paraphernalia because whatever reasons you might have. I'll wear an Army t-shirt sometimes. That's about it. But, and I ain't real comfortable with people thanking me for my service. Y'all already did, so please refrain. But anyway, so that put me in a way better mood. I wasn't aggravated after that. I was like, you know what, it don't even matter. People in the Army used to aggravate me far more than this fella right here. And I ain't gonna say his name, but it's ARA Liquidators was the seller. Now, I was aware that it was untested. Now this is a 1/32 slot car in this box that I got off of eBay. And it was packed in a box. It was almost as big as that one. That fella done it right. This one right here, there's a 132 slot car in here, y'all. This little bitty box. And I told her, I said, hey, I'm expecting another package. It's got to be bigger than that one. And she said, no, these are the only two. And then I was like, it's rattling. So I opened it up and I take a look and I'm like, oh my goodness. This is pretty special right here. So here's what we got. Let me put it on. It's wedged in there too. A Ninco cart, which I knew was probably questionable. Said it was untested. And if you don't know how to put a battery on there and you don't know how to do an assessment, but it was at a reasonable buy it now price. So he pulls the bumper off and jams it in this little bit. Even if I sell one slot car on its own, I pack it up really nice, wrap it in tissue, put it in a Ziploc or something, and then put it in a 5x5 box minimum. It doesn't cost no more to ship a 5x5 cardboard box than this flimsy battery box or whatever it used to be. But okay, so like I said, people in the Army used to aggravate me far more than that did. But and you're always going to be suspect when somebody can't give you an assessment and they don't know what it is most of the time. Ones that kill me is when they're saying it's AFX, Tyco, Auto World. You know, they're just covering all the bases and they ain't even got one in there. It'll be lifelikes, but that's what they do. Anyway, so the next one, let me do this one. But shout out to Mr. Todd over at Told You Racing. He sent me some stickers. Can't wait to see him modify them cars. Those will go on my pit box. So he got a couple cars off of me and some other bits and pieces. See how that works. Oh, and today I saw, so I ordered some Scalextric Beetles because they re-released them apparently. And they ain't cheap, kind of hard to find. I had to find one at Professor Motor and the other one was at, what's the other place? Carrera Slots. And both of those places are excellent to buy from. This one came from Cincy Slots. Here, this is not an eBay special. And it's it was in the department where they're sells used and or damaged. And this one is missing a mirror. Maybe it's in there, maybe it ain't. That's okay. It was 25 bucks, y'all. And I think that part lights. So that's cool. So I got that. And then next, but when I was studying up on those Scalextric Beetles, because I was curious as to whether they had the DPR door or not, or if they were just a re-release of the old ones. I saw Mr. Kyle Speed 1. If any of y'all have not seen his YouTube channel, it's pretty good. He's from down around where I grew up, Dallas-Fort Worth area, DFW as we call it. He told that story about the freezing cold Beetle. So it's very entertaining, especially if you're from that area. You know exactly what he's talking about. Now, here's the next one. Kevin showed me a picture of one of these, and I immediately went on a hunt for one. And I found it, and it has been run. It's got a blue flag on it. I don't know what that means in the Scalextric world, but it doesn't have a DPR door. But this is the box it came in right here. And it says this is like a Pro Tinker style rare right here. So this is collectible, but I've seen this car in other sets, and there's plenty of them on eBay. So it's like Pro Tinker rare. You know, they only made, this one is limited edition. It's number 3718 of 4400. So it's rare, y'all. Super rare. Beautiful car though, my goodness. I love that paint scheme. And I am a Mustang fan, especially Mustang fan. But I don't like driving them because you tend to attract the popo attention. And then I did some pre-orders from Auto World because I saw these cars on their round 2 video, and I'm a big fan of their F1s, and there's one of the fenders. And I would generally wait for Hobby Lobby, but I don't know if these will ever make it there. Seen a bunch on eBay already, and Auto World does not release F1s that often. And then I got the Slayer NASCAR. I don't know who the hell Slayer is. Todd might. They sound like they might be metal, and I'm more semi-metallic, you know, like brake pads, quite abrasive. But that's what they packed in. They got it right. Pro Tinker, they messed up my last order, but he had a sale going, and I ordered a bunch of Scalextric track, and then Daniel called me and said that they'll definitely throw those parts that they missed last time in there. And one of the items that I had a quantity of 2 of, they only had 1. I was like, that's no big deal, just refund whatever that value is. So Pro Tinker, although he's a stinker, they got their shipping together. They put it in a plenty good box and plenty of stuffing in there, so it ain't getting damaged. So that's about it. I have some project cars I've been working on, but I feel a little ripped off. Auto World usually sends me one of them catalogs, you know, and it's 2026. I didn't get one. I was going to ask Scott if he wants, I got a 2025 one if he don't have it. I done looked through it once, you know, and you can't you can't do like on a tablet that don't make it go bigger on the paper. Analog tablets. All right, y'all. Take care.